through a gallery of the faces they never frame right. Race to reality, race to reality. Still sprinting in the same old fight. Who on the field? Who write the rules? Yeah. Who sell the dream? Who choose the schools? Yeah. Who draw the maps where the money moves? Yeah. Who build a cage, then blame the fools? Yeah. Ask who profits off all this pain, off jerseys, music, memes, our names. We more than labor, more than play. We the soul they can't appraise. Just that race to reality. They keep changing up the finish line. Say it's all about morality, but they price every inch of your time. We've been running through a gallery of the faces they never frame right. Race to reality, race to reality. Still sprinting in the same old fire. Race to reality. Yeah. Race to reality.
Yeah.
Race to reality.
We still running. Yeah.
Grew up where the school paint peeled off the wall. History book thin, but the cops stand tall. Coach said run fast, teacher said aim high. Mama said pray, but the rent said why. Scholarship dreams on a hardwood floor. Stadium packed, but the block still poor. You a hero in a jersey, just a thread in a hoodie. They love you on camera, then they mute your story. Draft day, bright back home like flickers. Billionaires bet on your bones like stickers. You sign for a check, they sign for your silence. Smile for the brand, tuck away the defiance. This that race to reality. They keep changing up the finish line. Say it's all about morality, but they price every inch of your time. We've been running through a gallery of the faces they never frame right. Race to reality, race to reality. Still sprinting in the same old fight. Yeah. Corner store tax, higher than the stocks uptown. Food desert, but the liquor truck always comes around. Red lines drawn like chalk where the body fell. Same lines in the bank, just a different cell. They build fields, build courts, not a laugh, not a fun. Hope you catch a pass, not a book, not a run. Say you made it out like the rest ain't stuck, like the ladder ain't greased, like it's all just love. News talk tough when a black man stumbles. Quiet when the hedge fund guts whole jungles. You trained all summer just to sit on the bench. Meanwhile a spreadsheet tightening the rent. It's that race to reality. They keep changing up the finish line. Say it's all about morality, but they price every inch of your time. We've been running through a gallery of the faces they never frame right. Race to reality, race to reality. Still sprinting in the same old fight. Who on the field? Who write the rules? Yeah. Who sell the dream? Who choose the schools? Yeah. Who draw the maps where the money moves? Yeah. Who build a cage, then blame the fools? Yeah. Ask who profits off all this pain, off jerseys, music, memes, our names. We more than labor, more than play. We the soul they can't appraise. Just that race to reality. They keep changing up the finish line. Say it's all about morality, but they price every inch of your time. We've been running through a gallery of the faces they never frame right. Race to reality.
So there we go. Appreciate you guys for coming back and hollering with me. Welcome. Come on in. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Scott Free Morning Show in the afternoon. It is like 3 o'clock my time right now, and I'm supposed to start it hours ago. To be honest, people, I wasn't even gonna do a show today. I honestly wasn't. If you're feeling anything like me right now, you're not in the most, I'm not in the most upbeat mood. I'm just gonna be honest with you right now. Like everyone else, you see the title of the video. Like everyone else in this video, I think we're all feeling some type of way. I think the only reason why I decided to go ahead and to do this video at all was because this morning, I wasn't gonna get on it all today. I said everybody named Mama already feeling the same way I'm feeling. So if I need to come right, I just go sit with one of them because I wasn't even gonna talk about it. The fact that this young man is being railroaded, and the reason why I say Carmelo Anthony is being railroaded more than anything else, and I feel this one like I felt Trayvon. I felt this one like I feel Tamir. I feel it because under different circumstances, say if we were consistent in this country, say if every time a situation has happened, this was the outcome, especially when it was on racial lines and no one could say anything. But you're not going to, we cannot have Daniel Penny and what's my man name? Daniel Penny. What's my man? I cannot think of his name right now. He basically choked out on that train. You're telling us now that this boy Carmelo Anthony is a pooner. I can't even use the word that should tell you how controlled they have us. So you're trying to tell me at every turn that this young man is guilty. Every turn he's guilty. But yet and still, Daniel Penny is a hero. Jordan Neely, Jordan Neely didn't touch anybody. Jordan Neely didn't, he verbally spoke. So as he's speaking, he gets choked out, and you're basically saying that Carmelo used excessive force. Well, I'm sorry. Someone who is not a threat to you, they don't even see you coming, and you lay on him for so long that you make him suffocate. Is that not excessive? Was it unprovoked? Did that man touch you? No, all those things. See, you can't live in a place where one exists and the other one can't exist. No. Look, what I tell people all the time, we are too close to these people. We are too close, meaning we have allowed them to have their opinions laid to us. I don't want to hear, don't care to hear, don't need to hear. You can make all the justifications in the world. You're not going to inconsistently make me have to believe this. You're not going to tell me, without even going that far back, this child guy that did this to this young Belton boy down here. You're not going to chase him down, pum him, have nothing on him, and then tell all this evidence is put to the same type of jury, and the jury said, yep, this time we see it as being innocent. No, you see the black person is what you see. I said this yesterday, and I mean this with my full chest. No matter where the black person is in the story, they're gonna be the person who's the problem. What do I mean? If two people are fighting at a bar, one of them's black, one of them's white, can't say the word. See, that's crazy, can't even say a color. So the white man and the black man fighting at a bar. If they get to fighting at a bar, somehow, some way, the black man is gonna be the person who is at fault. Always happens. If he wins the fight, he's at fault. He aggressively beat this man and he didn't have to. If he takes the A whooping from that side, he gets beat up by the white man. All of a sudden, he had to get it because he was obviously the aggressor, even though he got beat up. If neither one of the people that are fighting, I said this yesterday, if neither one of the people are fighting and there's are black people, they will, but the bar owner is black, somehow, some way, it's the bar's fault. And that's the story we're gonna talk about. We're not gonna talk about these guys. See, what I've learned is it's the same reason why every time a black person gets in trouble, they always have to run a story. They have to look at their criminal background and let you know that they had one. Mind you, when I go to the chiropractor about my back, he don't care nothing about my MRI that I got done. He don't. None at all. Not unless it's pertinent to it, and I will have to be the one to have to tell it to him. He's not gonna ask me. But for some reason, these people are allowed to change the subject into whatever they want to. I said this about Kaepernick. Kaepernick said that I'm going to sit down and protest for police brutality against black people. And they proceeded to make it a story about kneeling versus the reason why he was doing it. When a man gets a knee put on the back of his neck for 9 minutes, they say, or close to, or whatever it was, they said to us then, it's his fault. He shouldn't have been acting up in the store. When Eric Garner gets choked out on the street, you know you don't supposed to sell cigarettes. See, at every turn, nothing's ever excessive on you. Everything's always going to be excessive when it comes to them. Again, stand your ground state, just like Florida. You told us, as an American people, you said to us, George Zimmerman can call the police, call 911, tell them what he sees and perceives to be a threat. They tell him to stand down. That is a direct order to stand down. You are not, and let the proper authorities handle it. You proceeded to say to him, nah, I'm still gonna go do it. And as you do it, you still claim self-defense. See, over and over and over again, these people are doing what I say on here all the time. If you're not following the channel, definitely hit the like button, hit the follow button. But I say this all the time. These people just need an excuse. They're going to continue their behavior. They're never going to stop it. There is no law that is ever going to agree with you. See, what people think is that, like, again, slavery ended, they said 1865. Let's just go with the story. So you thought that the people changed their minds in 65? All of them? No. So you don't think they pass it on to their children, they pass on their children, they pass on their children, they pass on their children? Yes. You want to know how I know that to be true? I'll play something for you so you'll know it. It's amazing how stuff fall in line. I wasn't planning on playing this, but this is what happens when you think that you're going, because I remember you used to listen to Oprah. Oprah used to say it all the time. Oh God, we just need this old group to die off, and pune off, and then we'll be moving on with a multiracial world. No, because you have to deal with these people. Listen to this lady.
In the bathroom, you guys, fancy hotel.
This lady's in a hotel, and I'll let her tell it. A child spoke to her at a hotel bathroom. I hope you guys can hear it.
And this little girl just said that I can't believe they allow black people in this fancy restaurant. I am in shock.
Why is she in shock? Why is she in shock? Because you do know the parent teaches the child. How do we always say this? How do we say, well, the lady who was raised by the lady who was a hoe is probably gonna be a hoe and is gonna keep passing that hoe. This is how it goes. We all know this to be true, so why do we think we're gonna pass down what they be doing? If we're passing down trauma from generation to generation, if we're passing down the same BS that is keeping us in the same spot from generation to generation, you don't think there are people doing the same thing? Yes, it is a system. What you just saw was a legal lynching, is what you just saw. You saw a dad who had connections to them people, and they told you what they think of you. They told you flat out with a full chest. I don't care what you want. I don't care what you like. Because the reason why I know that this was just all about, you don't get to do this to my son. You don't get to do anything you want. We're going to throw it as much we want to at you. You know how I know that's what it was? Because to charge somebody with the big M word, I don't even know if I can say that on here. That boy got charged with the M word. You know what that means? That means that they saying that this man woke up with the intent, or at least when he pulled it out, he had the intent to do this. Man, he took a 3-inch blade, poked him once and walked away. Yeah, he had all the intent in the world to put that man down. Yeah, no. What you're telling me is this. I don't want to give him manslaughter. I don't want to try any of that, even though he shouldn't be on trial for any of this. I don't want to do that. I want this boy to suffer. That means if they made this man do the full tilt, I think that means for 35 years, what does it mean? That boy would be almost 50 before he got it. No, he would be 50, wouldn't he? 35, what? Yeah, he would be 50, like 52. So you see how these people don't care nothing about your life. See, I'm here. Matter of fact, I'm with this young lady. I'm here with this young lady. This young lady hit it on the head. I want each and every one of these people to do this. Before I get into the main topic, and I'm gonna it's just gonna be basically talking about this in so many fashions the entire time. I'm tired today, mentally. These people don't stress me out, but I'm with it. But this lady hit it on the head. If I can find her, where she at? Where you go, sister? Where you go? Is this it right? Hold on, let me get up to the top. Hold on, let me refresh. I'm gonna play something for you. This lady hit it on the head. This lady.
The streets.
You learn something.
Right here.
Don't get y'all ass in them streets.
Totally agree.
Do not get your ass in them streets, y'all. It's a setup. It's a setup. It is not a coincidence that both of these emotionally charged trials for the black community happen so close to fucking together. Okay? Mm-hmm. It's not a coincidence that they have been trying for nearly 2 years now to get our asses in the fucking street.
And what she mean by getting in the streets, you remember the No Kings March. You remember, it's been so many marches that we've seen, we've heard about, that they've been talking about. We've seen a bunch of this stuff. And these people keep trying to say, why black folks ain't got, cause we didn't know. People, I was just listening on TikTok, and I don't got to pull it up, so I can't let y'all guys hear it right now. But it was that same chick that basically was going off about black folks that I talked about the other day. That put her ass on the Summer Jam screen. I put her up there. That lady right there going off again. Ha! You people gonna collapse without her. That is some cocky. I'm telling you, people. This is what I'm saying right now to my people. At this point, right now in our lives, if you ain't never been, these people not only are being disrespectful, they are being cocky with it at the same time. They really think that they had you by the throat. What I'm telling people is right now, since you think you have us by the throat, let's just all crash and burn then. Since we need them so bad, they hair care products and they chicken and all of the other and they massage. If we need all of that from, shut it down. I will shame you too. I want everybody to shame everybody that goes in these people's place. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's the cockiness of it. But while you at it, stay out them other people's place. It is time to build. If you wasn't building before, if you didn't see the need to build before, if you didn't feel the need to take your sewing skills and make something for someone, we need drawers, we need socks, we need deodorant. Well, no, we have deodorant, that's somebody for that. But you get what I'm saying. We need product. We need people who are purchasing land to now prioritize its own people. Everyone's aggregated themselves into small communities. Let's do it then. But we don't need to be one. It doesn't need to be Black Wall Street on the south side of Atlanta where nobody gets down to because it's so far. No, it needs to be all over the country. We need a black town, FBA town, everywhere we go. If there's a Chinatown, if there's a Korean town, if there's a little Ethiopia, we need it now. And we gonna have to protect it ourselves. Nobody needs to roll through here. No more of that. No. See, if it's your land, if it's privately owned land that we're on, they can't just roll through your neighborhood and try to harass you. No, you bring your sirens in here, you gonna have a problem. That's trespassing, sir, ma'am. We're gonna have to do some things. I'm telling you like this now. This is where we at this point. I am so tired of these folks. And I got on the screen, I'm sorry, put up here. Sorry, on the screen, I got something I want to walk through with you guys. It's basically gonna give you all of my emotions and feelings, even more than what I'm saying now about the case. But I'm gonna play it through Willie D. Willie D interviewed Dennis Sperling. Guy came out on the scene back in the Kevin Samuels days. He's a lawyer, I think. And I'm tired of men. And I have no problem down. This is Dennis. This is just a disagreement. I don't know this man personally, so this is not me an attack. This is just me saying I'm frustrated with men who basically, like, I know that the whole Kevin Samuels thing was alpha thing. Alpha. Probably the alpha is this. And the alpha is, yes, he's a leader. He's there to run. He's the thorough dude. The problem is he's going to conform to the system. It's a part of an alpha's thing. Get a Sigma, same thing, but only thing is he's not inside the system. He's outside the system. Donald Sterling is speaking to inside the system. I'm tired. I'm tired of just saying in one breath, well, you know, the rules are a little bit different sometimes when we up here. And then when these people, but at the same time, you want to chastise your own people. I'm tired of it. So I'm gonna play a little bit of that. Let me put the chat around so I can talk to the people. But that's the reason why I gotta hit the like button if you're in here. I'm streaming on multiple places, so if I miss a comment or something, my apologies. I'm not trying to. Again, I appreciate you guys for coming in. Give me a second. Let me pull this thing around. All right, so because what I want people to do is I need, especially men. I want to say this for men who gonna have the Donald Sperling's mindset. We gonna have to call you to task when it comes to that one. I do not have all the answers, but what I can definitively tell you is this. You right now, people, if you're going to make excuses for your own demise, then it is what it is. These people are doing this to our children because they know there is no real consequences. I need for judges to feel consequences. Like, I give you an example. Drewski, I don't know how true it is, but I can believe it. Drewski's supposed to been doing a whole Little Hat skit I've been hearing. And while he's filming the Little Hat people, a skit talking about them folks, he get the phone call, shut it down. That means they're seeing any and everything that we're doing at all times. And that means that they're allowing them to attack you and your people. And that's it. Look, I want y'all to understand this about Asians too, because this is what I think people get a misconception. Asians are not a minority. Asians rival melanated people about the same amount of people if you go by their narrative. It's like 2 billion of us, it's like 2 billion of them. So they're not a minority. Are they a small number here? Yes, but you do realize, unlike your black ass, who they want to tell is from the continent, which we can get into this story a whole nother day, none of that is a protection for you. See, if something starts happening to Asians here on this soil, China has a problem, Japan has a problem, and they're gonna let the United States know we got a problem. So they treat them with a little bit of dignity because they got a little bit of support. You, black Americans, are on their own by themselves. There is no support from anyone other than us. So I need people like Dennis Sterling to know, even if you feel the way that you feel about your kids should know better. No, you can't tell each kid that makes a decision what they should and shouldn't do. You do not know that boy's fear. You don't know what's in that boy's head. So one thing you don't do is you don't get on the internet and you don't denigrate your own people like it's his own fault. When I got to hear Daniel Penny is a superstar, he's a hero, he's somebody that we should love on as a nation. No, you don't get to have it both ways. But that's not the reason I wanted to talk today. I wanted to talk about this a little bit, if y'all will with me. Hit the like button if you don't mind. I appreciate you guys. I want to say something really thorough. So I did this morning. I decided this morning, wait a minute, I'm not hearing anything from anybody of any relevancy. Where is the Black Caucus? Where is NAACP? Where's Kamala Harris? Where's Barack Obama? Where's Tiffany Cross? Where's Angela Rye? I'm listening for all these people. And I go to all they Twitter pages because everybody that I listen to like this, Twitter is the place to go for political conversations. I go to each one of these people's pages and none of them are speaking of this young boy getting railroaded. How in the fuck do you tell me they not doing that? I didn't say she didn't speak on her what's saying. I'm saying this, if I didn't watch her podcast that day, her Twitter page is sitting there for weeks and months and years and years and years. This is where people go to politicize what they feel and think and what's important. The NAACP has on there, they're still trying to get people to boycott these states. You're gonna talk about that while one of the black boys you trying to get to do bidding for you is getting railroaded and you ain't got nothing to say? I'm telling you, this tells me every time, where are they? They sit up and tell you who to protest. They sit up and tell you who you supposed to not like. Roland's telling us just yesterday, we supposed to be at war with the Republicans. What am I going to war for them if my team won't stand for the people who are getting railroaded? That young boy should not spend one goddamn minute in there, let alone some 35 years. And don't listen to other people who are idiots tell you, no, that's right. He was too aggressive. You don't get to say what's aggressive and what ain't aggressive. I tell you like this, for the detractors, for the people who disagree, I do not care. I do not want to hear your selective reasoning. I do not want to hear. I will then bring up the same situation on the flip side when you guys are agreed and you say, yeah, but that's different. No, the fuck it's not. I agree, Ron. They're not on, the NAACP is not on your side. They never have been. So I need for black folks to understand they are an enemy to your culture if they sit in there cosplaying like they are a friend of the culture. That means they are your enemy. Remove yourself. Why is this true? Let me go further. But it's starting to make sense why all the people at the top don't never say nothing of relevancy. You wanna know why? Because you have stuff like this. Let me find this.
You learn something every day. This is shocking news to me. I just established this. Do y'all know that the Black Divine Nine fraternities and sororities protect the richest white families that run the world? Check this out.
So from the Rothschilds to the Lee family are protected by the 9 Black Greek secret societies of black fraternities and black sororities. Well, in the 1969 book, The History of Sigma Pi Phi, Alpha Phi Alpha.
Archive rewind for the people who are not paying attention to this idiot. Brought up Kyle Rittenhouse. Let me tell you the difference between Kyle Rittenhouse before I block you. The difference between Kyle Rittenhouse and this situation is this. Kyle Rittenhouse at 17 crosses state lines with an assault rifle. First and foremost, you are done, sir. Your mother's supposed to be done, sir. No child supposed to have a weapon at all, sir. I don't even want to get to the situation before it happened with those folks. I could care less about that. I could care less about how the fact is a 17-year-old boy with an assault rifle, his mama can draw him across state line. He can sit up and say, oh, on camera, I'm so looking to put one of these niggas down if I can get a hold of one of them. And then as he's throwing up the okay sign, sir, miss me, please. I thank you, I bid you, I do. I have no time. No time for people who want to make justifications with ill intent. We don't have to have time. I don't have to have that conversation with people. See, what people say to me is this. No, you didn't agree, so I had to block you. That's why I had to put you out. Because what the problem is this. People always in their mama want to justify their behavior. No, what I'm going to say is this. When you have a young white tea man can get smashed drunk, get behind the wheel of a car and run over 4 people, and y'all make up, what did they make up for that dope boy? Was it Drake? No, was it Drake Domania? Was it? Yes, Drake Domania, I think it was, some shit. This man is too privileged to understand the damage that he's caused. See how they make an excuse for, no, I make no excuses for bad behavior. When they say, or they like to do this. So this is what they're gonna say. Again, I always say this one. When someone cares about you, they're going to try to understand you. When someone don't give a damn about you, they're going to make a justification for everything. So what they're going to do now is that they're going to try to find any comparable situation they can possibly find to make themselves sound right about railroading a 17-year-old child that y'all gonna put in prison for years. Exactly. No kid's supposed to have a gun. That's illegal. But the difference is, that's different. No, that's different. I don't want to talk about that part. I want to talk about how he shot the people. No, you want to talk about the part that makes you sound right. Let's cover the thing. The same people, I promise you this, if you have people who are that's commented on both the child situation and the Carmela situation, they're going to be on the side that the black person is not on both sides. You want to know why? Because the black person is the person they are against. Look, let's just be honest and be real. In this world, we are on a racial lines and you are part of your group. We wasn't given this world. We were given this world, we didn't make it. Now that we live in this world and this is what we have to deal with, it is what it is. I love my people. I have no problem with my people. I'm a part of an amazing group of people. I just need for y'all to understand y'all don't need these people, and enough is enough. It has to be consequences for their actions at some point, somehow, some way. You cannot ask the people who are causing the problem to correct the problem. They're never going to do that. You can get over it. There is no need to listen to the news. There's no need, when they're gonna bring it up, hold on. I got an airplane flying. He's very low. But if you have any Tiffany Crowder, even better, Joy Reid, anybody brings it up, they're going to bring it up, but they're going to bring it up in a very political way. Let's have a conversation about where we can go, what we can do. We ain't there no more. I need people to understand this. These people are at war with us. What it is that you don't understand the difference between war and warfare. You equate war as gun in hand, shoot, bang, 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 out in the field. That is not what we under. We are under warfare. You are attacked at every corner of the way. And the only problem is your people, the people you listen to, your news, the people that you think is part of you because they brown and black like you. They don't give a shit. You want to know how I know? Because they mad at me. All that I do is talk positive about black folks every effing day in, day out. And you get people that get on and get angry. If I ever was to go viral, trust me, Barack Obama's not going to be asking me for tea and brunch. He's not going to do it. Roller's not going to say, brother, come on, I need you to get. It's going to be, I do not like you. I don't like your rhetoric. You need to move on. Why? Because I want something to change. I do not want to keep having the same conversation. I need for when a black boy leaves a effing store, I need for his owner to know, man, if I mess with that child, it's gonna be a problem. See, y'all don't understand this. Why does the little hat people get that type of respect? Because they demand it. I don't say whether I like them or dislike them, but what I'm saying is, I respect the fact of they demand it. Now, do they go too far? Hey, this conversation we can have offline. But then you get what I'm saying. What we've gotten to is we have a bunch of people out here who basically like, no, not gonna do that. No, I'm gonna love my enemy. I'm going to trust in the system. No, what are you trusting in? Remember, just a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago, the UN brought in hundreds of countries and they all agreed that black folks are the most aggrieved group of people on the planet Earth in history. And your own country said nope. So you think the country who says no to that, even though everyone else agrees? You seen the same nation who tells you all the time, I have to go liberate Venezuela, I have to go liberate Iran, I have to go liberate Iraq, I have to liberate all them, and tell you Flint ain't got no fucking water. They water still messed up. That's how much they love you. And again, I am on the Black Caucus page, I'm on the NAACP page, I'm on Barack Obama's page, I'm on everybody's effing fucking page. It has been hours. We all know what the fate this young man is suffering right now, and ain't none of them got nothing to say. But they want our black boys to take their talent, to go down here and then say, I'm not gonna go make some money to help you keep your position. But that's all that is. These people are not here to help you. Go on their page, people. Stop listening to me. Go on the Black Caucus page and see what the fuck they talking about and see if any of it matches what you want to talk about. It don't. It never does. Every 2 to 4 years, they got something new they want us to chase behind like we some fucking puppies. Now it's districts. Mind you, for the people who ain't never watched me before, hi, I'm L-Dot. Nice to meet you. Appreciate you. I'm glad you're here. Definitely hit the follow button. But with that being said, why is these same people, when they get out here, when they talk about those districts, them districts are all failing. Every last one of them but one are all failing and been failing for years under Democratic run. But you want me to put my child's future in your hands and you failing anyway? Man, kiss my ass. Move on. The only black folks who like you is gonna be down here with me. Y'all need to go ahead and understand. These people who are getting paid by the folks that they are fighting are not their enemy. They are all on one accord. You're gonna see it. Look at the patterns. Why is it that when one's talking about something, the other one is talking about the same thing? Why is it that when one is talking about it, the next person's talking about it? Why is it they all at the same goddamn brulee brunch? All of them there. I'm so sick and tired of hearing and watching videos of rich niggas in rooms that ain't nobody saying to themselves, man, we got a whole group of people we can fix this. We gotta, come on, man, we gotta do this. Remember, we came from that. You'd like to tell me all the rags, the richest stories that comes out, when did they go fit? I'm not counting your money. What my issue is why is it that black folks don't feel like they can fix their own situations? That's all we do. Right now, the economy is pure tea trash for black folks. Black folks have nowhere to go. Ask yourself, if you got to go get some money that's sufficiently enough to take care of your bills, where the fuck you going? There ain't nowhere. But for somehow, some way, we still generate $1.2 trillion in spending power. You want to know how? Because black folks always gonna figure it out. These people are disrespectful. It's time to move on. It's time to stop listening to all the stuff that they saying. Look, I get it. They tell you that the NAACP have a pretty award show. All of the big name, cute folks we idolize and want to be like are all on the show. What you don't realize is half the niggas in the crowd are just there for the show. They ain't got no money. They ain't making nothing. They underpaid. I'm tired of seeing them all talk about how they underpaid. No, I don't want to hear about none of that. Because when I start, let's talk about solutions. Let's talk about fixing. Let's talk about doing something like that. Nobody ever wants to do that. Let's talk to talk to talk. Someone wanted to support Angela Rye in the comment section a little while ago. I watched Angela Rye and that motherfucker on her podcast big up Sheila Jackson Lee for that HR 40. That was a farce. If you watched the hearing, and I did, from cover to cover, If someone's trying to get your country, if trying to get your people, which ain't her people, if you're trying to get black folks reparations, then why would you put detractors on the panel? Of love of God, why is Candace Owens, who's not even qualified, even on the panel? You wanted it to crash out. Look, people, one time something happens, it happens. Happens again, a coincidence. But it's happening over and over and over again. If you lose it every time, then that means that is a pattern. Pattern says anything that really is affecting you people, we ain't gonna never talk about. Where are your Democrats now? They still talking about districts. And I'm not trying to disparage them, so I'm not trying to disparage Andrew, but what I'm saying is that I'm tired of these people sitting up here acting like they know. I am from the South. I am from a half black town. I am from nothing but Negroes. That's all I've been around. And I've seen us build stuff out of nothing. I've watched it in real time in my own town, watch they disparage a young black man and they let a white guy off. I've seen all of these things in my time. I am watching my people make excuses for these people, and then I'm so sick and tired of thinking just because you see the same the same black guy I'll see online making justification for what happened to Carmelo Anthony, you'll see. You want to know why? Because the algorithm say, great, he's saying what we want them to say. Me, they're not gonna let that get out. I say that man, that guy, all of them, it's all. If it was a black guy, do you really? I don't even have to ask the question. You already know the answer. But if I have to ask the question, if a black guy gets stabbed in that way, this doesn't even make it to trial. And the same people who were making the justifications for it now will not then around and turn around and say, you know what, I still feel the same. No, they're gonna feel differently. Why? It's on racial line. So I want to tell you the difference between us, black folks, and them. They keep trying to convince you that, hey, we just roll with our racial side. No, black folks do not honor people who are doing wrong. That is the projection they put onto us because that's the behavior they do. Can you please tell me anywhere, anytime black folks ever justify bad behavior? Nope. You want to know how I know it? R. Kelly is in jail. People say, I don't want to hear him. But I can tell you like this, if it was on the white T side, he's going to still be glorified. Elvis. They be that. We don't do that. We are always sitting here standing up for what's right. These people want to, that's why I hate the narrative when people say this. If it's a black person that did it to another black person, y'all don't get up in arms about that one because there's consequences for when he does it. Dummy, you realize the reason why people are mad when that happens is because of the lack of consequences. And just like clockwork, I'm gonna address TH Thunder and then I'm going to block TH Thunder. TH Thunder is going to say, oh my God, you're slow. It's always just an attack with no context. We don't have time today, so I bid you adieu, but I appreciate you. Today, we ain't got time for it, because for me, if he really wanted me to understand why he didn't like or agree with me, he would have wrote that in the comment section. No, what it is, he homeless, the little sis fight, and he felt bad, and it made him hurt, so he just wanted to lash out and tell me how he felt. Yeah, the consequences are always going to be there for us. You're going to have consequences. They're never going to have it. That's the way it is. See, what I need people to understand is this. That's the game. As long as they give you, and they realize this, I don't have to subjugate you by force. I'm honestly starting to even wonder if they ever really subjugated us by force, or if this is just a story we've been hearing. Once we're realizing now the whole slave story and we're learning about your genealogy and you're starting to find if anybody's doing the genealogy, you're probably not finding a lot of slave people, things like this and there. I'm starting to wonder if something else happened, but in the process of it, they just like telling the story that they dominant. You know they love to tell you how dominant they are. Like some white people always love to tell you how great he is. He always in your face, believe he tough, and then you hit him one time, he fall. Ain't nothing tough about none of these people. That's why they always attacking your water and your food and everything else. That's why they want to get you. They not tough. But for some reason in the history, when we can't prove it, we ain't no cameras, ain't no footage, ain't no audio, ain't no video. For some reason when they were in, they were straight just bad. They were just knocking people out and taking over their land. I'm taking it all with 3 people. Cause like even now they have to drop. I think if they didn't have to drop all these bombs on people, would they really be over there doing it to these people? Cause I really think in our time they don't really have foot soldiers like that. They have them, but they don't really be going out there. Who they fighting? They ain't going to war out there like that. Nobody out there they ain't got no, hey, I bid you, I'm gonna challenge you to a duel, and they don't do that. Probably so. I don't know. Whoever asked me if the government against the rest of it, I don't know. Ain't none of my concern. My own people are suffering so bad right now, I don't even really got time to think about what's happening to y'all. Same way no one cares about what's happening to us. As of right now, everyone else is going on with their day. Black folks in this country right now are hurting. People are seeing their sons, and this is why I'm always so big on black family advocate, and I'm not about black male advocates. Black men, I feel the pain of black men. And I feel it. I could just sit back here and talk about the pain of black men all day long. I could. But I know we ain't alone. We're not alone in this thing. Our children, our women, we're going through the same thing. It's just different. These are what these children have been going through. Because you notice, 2 little black boys had to suffer a horrible fate. Tamir Rice, young. Trayvon, young. Jordan Davis, young. They are attacking your defenseless children. So I don't want to hear anybody get online, Dennis Spaulding or anyone else get online justifying anything that happens in these children, period. I don't. We can talk about anything we want to talk about behind closed doors, but we don't never get online and denigrate our own people when we say that. Never. You never give no one a pass when they attack your group. What's wrong with these people? What code do these people live on? One thing I will respect about the other side of the people, one thing about it, now they go to the extreme because they will justify their worst. Mind you, they humanize Jeffrey Dahmer. How do you humanize? I heart you too. I do. I appreciate you. But they tried their best to make us believe Jeffrey Dahmer was cool people. You wanna know why? Because that's what they like. They don't mind the degeneracy of their culture. Look, can I tell y'all something? Matter of fact, let's walk through it a little bit. Let's walk through it a little bit. Let's learn something new today. You wanna learn something new? Learn this new. Wanna know something? I always say this all the time. Everything, every law, everything that we have that is restrictive, they've made it because of you. All of them is because of you. There was no need for a law school before anybody black decided to go do law. Oh shit, we got to do something about that. Here comes law school. Oh, if you want to do this and the third, oh, we got to make a school out of that. Why? Even down to now, they telling women with natural hair, your hair, the hell you've been growing out your scalp for the rest of your goddamn life. Your mama been doing it in your kitchen for years. Told you got to get a degree to do it. If you don't, then we gonna charge you. What the fuck? What is wrong with these people? But listen to this. I learned this recently myself.
I swear, every time I get on this app, I find out that something I thought was normal started because of slavery. Did you know that job references are a thing because it was illegal to hire freedmen without discharge papers and a letter from their last employer? Like, you could not be black and unemployed. It was illegal to quit your job.
That I didn't know.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that? On Sky, on L. Sky, on this, I'm sorry, guys. I've been disrespectful to you guys. But yes, and like I said, I appreciate the love on that. Hit the like button, follow the pound change. I'm gonna pay attention to what you guys say. I didn't realize y'all was commenting. But no, I was gonna say in here. So again, now that's a slave. But not even the fact of all of that stuff. Let me take it away. I don't even want to go that approach. Let's just go this. They're telling you even references is because of you. Everything is to check for you. Don't look. Classic example. Black man, black woman is in this room right now. How many so-called, cause they will call me a black identity extremist or something because I love my own folks, which is extreme. I guess that's what they're saying. So, but imagine going into a white tea room that is really, I love white people. Do you go in? No. You know that space ain't for you. Now, if somebody you listen to is debating with something, that's different. But if it's just a room full of them dudes, you don't feel the need to fall in and out, and definitely don't feel the need to comment and tell them how you feel and think. Because you know it ain't gonna mean nothing. Falls all on deaf ears. But these people proceed to try to convince you that you're never on their mind. They try to they try to convince you at all times that you are crazy. No one thinks of you all the time, but all the time they always here. I've had to block 2 people already today. Why? Because they're always in here. They're always worried about what you doing. Why? Is it because you are always on their mind 24/7? Appreciate that. I should have wore the cowboy hat for you. What did you set up here? I don't forever feel like a. Yo, I've already did it this morning. I had to do it myself. It just was. And like I said today, normally I do a lot of different topics. We try to cover and keep it light, but again, I didn't feel the desire. I didn't even want to do this. My frustration, honestly, is I wanted to say two things. Mine is one, the first thing, the title of the thing, let's remove these people from the top. They names need to be mud. I normally I'm not big on really just going at people. Now, if they do something specific, we can talk about what they should and shouldn't do and kind of make your own decisions from there. But we're at a point now, no. Because I want them removed. I don't want them in front of our impressionable young folks who regurgitate the shit. Every time I get around niggas that I don't know, there's something coming up of a relevant conversation. I'm so tired of hearing the men sound like they are watching CNN through their own mind. And I be like, you ain't even thought about that. You just took what they told you. I see this with men all the time, black men. And you be like, no, nigga, no, you, what? And, or like, I had one, I was at a cookout, this is like last year or something, I was at a cookout, and the brother was telling me why, we gotta vote Democrat, because you just did the third, and I'm like, this dude, you sound just like a walking billboard. What are you talking? You ain't used your brain once. I'm telling y'all right now, if we just literally band ourselves together at this point, and what I said this before, I'm telling black folks, calling all black folks right now, if you have a skill set. Matter of fact, DM me. I have the platform. I have the ability to do this and put it out. And I don't mean, look, this is what I don't want. I'm probably just like you. I don't want to hear no more about no marketplaces. I don't want to hear no more about buyblack.com. I don't want to hear nothing about it because we'll never go do it. You want to know why? We doing convenience. Black folks have a convenience problem. We're so convenient and we go to Amazon. We conveniently go to DoorDash. We're convenient and the conveniency is wiping us out. So what I mean is that now I don't even want to get into the luxury. I don't want to hear about your shea butter. I don't want to hear about your high-end couture. We need the raw, basic essentials that these people are holding over our heads, telling us that we're going to have to suffer if we don't keep getting it, even though they don't like you. I told myself I would never get another massage from an Asian lady one day. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Now you end up in a place, but they're in the place, but I'll never go anywhere that they're actually going to touch me. I'm gonna tell you why. Went to this one lady one day. This lady, some people, like you say, you start in the business, when you get a massage, people, you can warm the muscles up. You start out fully covered and everything. With this wench was giving me a massage and it was like 45 minutes into a massage and the oil had never came out. I right nicely asked her to stop, got up, got my refund and got out of there. Cause I thought this wench thought we was gonna pay her to not do her job. We ain't doing that. And see, black folks are doing that too much. We allowing these people to snatch our women up by their head in these stores and we keep going because they got the bundle. Well, goddamn it, we need to get back to making the bundles ourselves. Look, go on YouTube. Sister, I'm gonna tell any black woman right now, this is the time. This is the time for you women, especially the women who have some mechanical incline. I'm talking about you women, when y'all be braiding in, your mama gonna be doing it. I'm talking about you ladies. What you need to be doing right now, you need to go on YouTube right now and see how them little Asian me's and the women, how they are doing it, how they putting this stuff together. This ain't nothing but plastic. Somehow, some way this stuff is gonna be plastic. Figure out how to do it. Band together with your sisters if you gotta purchase something. And y'all start doing it. I'm telling you right now, this is the time. Because if you do it right now, if you sell it in your city right now, you gonna make a killing. That's what we have to do. And it has to go across the nation. Let's start in the South, because we damn near all down here now. They done ran the foreigners and really just the foreigners. They done ran us out of New York. That is immigrant city now. West Coast ain't nothing but foreigners. They done ran you out of there. I was in Orange County for 4.5 years and there was more foreigners than it was white people in there. When I'm telling people like this now, you were getting ran out. It's time. It is time. You're not telling us nothing but fake food anywhere at this point. And at halftime, it ain't halfway worth a damn. Boston, oh my God. Well, I figured Boston, because you said Boston got what? Got a lot of black people in Boston? Is that what you're saying? Or got a lot of foreigners in Boston? Because I believe the foreigner part. And I'm gonna tell you why that is. Y'all don't know why that is, but the reason why so many foreigners is for a reason. The reason why so many foreigners is because, again, these incredible, amazing people who are just trying to do right and they're just doing right by everybody else while I railroad you in reality. These same people can't reproduce. That's the problem. So what they have to keep doing is, this is what they're doing. Globally, They are aggregating their white tea people back together because they can't spread out so much because their numbers are dwindling. I knew it, Spaniards and Asians. That's all they see in California. That's all Orange County was. So what I'm telling people is, y'all don't realize this was happening. Look, go, if you start traveling the world, you're gonna find out majority of the world is empty. And especially with them folks, they ain't got nobody. If you look at Europe, y'all think Europe is massive. People be driving country to country in one day. Oh, I'm gonna drive here, here, and here, and they go 3 countries in one day on a bus. Europe is small. It ain't a lot of them. So if they're aggregated, it's supposed to be Americas and Europe is supposed to be the more aggregated parts of them. If that's the case, then Europe is tiny. There ain't that many of them. So if it ain't that many of them, and then now they're telling Ukraine, which ain't nobody at war Ukraine, allegedly. That's just my conjecture. Allegedly, I assume. I don't know. In case somebody tries to sue me. But as they bring them about 100,000 over here, that's just to replenish their numbers. Mexicans are 90% of South Americans like that are classified as white on paperwork. That's on purpose. Why? They're bolstering their numbers. I keep telling, for the cocky black immigrant who got here and said, I'm here, nigga. You can't do nothing. I hate to tell you, they opened up the borders under Biden solely so you could cloak them in. They was letting in hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians. They'll let in 5,000 Nigerians. They'll let in 200,000 Venezuelans, Mexicans that are all considered white now, but they just got to get over the Spanish part. And then they said, oh, they'll let them in by 200,000. They'll let in 50 of you here. That's all they did. And then guess what they did when Trump got in? They said, the other part of the players, we never wanted them niggas in anyway. Now, ice them up. They done grabbed y'all up and they sending you home. You notice you don't never see Ukraine people getting scooped up, do you? Why? Because they wanted them here. Look, let's just be honest. Let's tell the truth and let's stop playing. The world, not this country, the world that we live in, it's leaning heavily against you. I can't even say the white tea people because white tea people is just like Asian people. They're the same thing. They're just like them. Look, y'all gotta realize too, remember, y'all realize, okay, let's say this. How is Asian has any camaraderie with you when white tea people will marry them, do business with them, and never attack them? And they have basically the same phenotype outside of their eyes. Explain to me why did you think you have some camaraderie with them? Because they're small in number in this area, but they're connected to a country. You do realize that you realize when they come here, a lot of times they come here and get money because their countries do business together. See, I don't think people understand that no one is your black ant. Black and brown, what? 90% of them are classified as white. How is that black and brown? That's impossible. You okey-doked me. And I'm telling you, if your same pundits, the Tamika Maras and Angela Rye and all them same people are gonna regurgitate that again, they are feeding you BS. That's BS. These are not your friends. These people have never worked with you. But no, I saw this movie when Jose, that's a movie. You may know one or two. I cannot bring your whole team with me because I got one of you as that's cool. Can't do it. I think we don't understand this, and it's unfortunate, and I'm just sad. I just want us at this point now. I hope we are tired, and if you are tired, I want you to get your frustrations out now. That's what I actually came on here for. I wanted to come on here, and if anybody got any frustration, let that shit out. Let's go. I want to be the one that let's do it with you. You said never worked or even attempted to figure. Yeah. I'm tired of living in a space to where people are just able to say anything to me and I just supposed to take it. No. Like, as a black man, like, one of the things I was gonna talk about until all this played out this day was I saw this thing right here. And now most people, I'm gonna try to put this on the screen. L.Sky, I don't think y'all gonna be able to see this, but I'm gonna try to walk you through it. This is a room. I want to show y'all this real quick, guys. It's a room full of black men, and the title says "Black Men Discussing Vulnerability and Processing Emotion on a Friday Night." This is a room full of black men. Let me show y'all this. people, even for men, they're gonna be like, man, damn right, brothers are starting to basically say stand up for themselves. And I have no problem with that. My issues is this. We are under attack. Black men like this, they can't talk to they didn't say these were single men. They said these were black men. So that means they can't talk to they fucking women. What is wrong when we have to get together? Men don't do this. Men talk to they. When a woman and a man was together, from what I remember, this is how it went. He is tough as nails. He will fuck you up. You are not to disrespect him. He gonna smoke a Black and Mild. He gonna have some white wall ties. I remember them dudes. They gonna smell like old, was it Stetson cologne or some Brute or something, but they gonna always be out there, they killing. That's who they gonna be. And no one ever got to see any vulnerability of him, but his woman. She the one that seen him when he cried when his mama passed. She was the only one. It's just, to me, I don't understand why we can't get together and even have a conversation at this point to where men got to do this. Do y'all realize if women, y'all getting together and y'all kumbayaing with each other and you being vulnerable only with your girlfriend, and then fellas getting together, he's only being tough with Tyrone. I mean, he's only being vulnerable with Tyrone. We are fucked. Oh my God, excuse me, I love TikTok Shop. I love it. But that's gonna mess you up at this point. And I'm only saying that on this episode because of this. I'm watching us in so many different ways. Look, it is hard for me to live in a space, in a world, when I appreciate that. I do. I'm sorry my energy is low. I'm sorry. I am so sorry my energy is low today, guys. I appreciate you. It's just my this is how I process when it comes to, because I feel every inch of what that young man is going through right now. He is terrified. He is terrified, and the bad thing about it, one thing I hate about this system is this. There is no quick relief for this young man. He's gonna have to suffer. Even if someone did step in and helped him out, it's gonna be a while from now. Hopefully they let him out on bail if he's gonna appeal and he can be out of the whole entire time and they don't have to go in. I don't know, I haven't checked. It's just, for me, I'm a parent. I don't have a son, but I'm a parent. I can only imagine not only him, but now with his parents suffer. Oh my God. Then I guess I'm just frustrated because I'm watching people. I'm watching men and women sitting here fighting over the dumbest shit. And our kids are out here. Mind you, I get it. People want to say, well, he shouldn't have did. I ain't talking about what the fuck he should have, shouldn't have done. That ain't what you're talking about right now. But I need for, at this point right now, I need for everybody at this point for us just to, I don't even know. It's just, I feel like we're all out here fighting a battle and they're keeping us separate the entire time. Like I said, hopefully he be out while they're doing the appeal. What'd you say? Hold on, once I missed the comment. What'd you say now? Kid's not. No, he's not built for that. That kid is not anything that they try to portray him to be. I don't want you to be numb. I don't. But I just say that this is my thing. I guess why I do this. This is why I do this. I don't get a large following. They're not going to let you push anything that's positive for black folks. But I promise you this. My only concern is that each one of us get what we need so we can be whole again. Because what I am watching right now is this. They're going to get to a point, they are psychologically messing us up so bad to where they're going to have us almost at a point where we can't defend ourselves anymore before we finally get it. I heard someone say this years ago, said, if we wanted to go to WOT, if we would decide to go to war with these people, I'm going to call it WOT. We're going to call that because you got to use TikTok friendly words. We can't even do a push-up a lot of times now because the food's so messed up. And it's just that at some point, like, if you're regular on here, you know I'm always talking about, man, you gotta get our health in order. We gotta get this in order. There's some certain things. And I do ride out on certain people. Imagery is everything. See, look, I'm always riding on a Tyler Perry. I'm riding on Dr. Umar. I ride on those people because they will preach to us about doing better. I ain't gonna never say nothing to you if you don't never say nothing about the folks. But if you get out here and act like you want to do better for us, then, like, Tyler, you can't give us shitty movies about that makes us look bad. You can't. You can't out here. Who was I just said? Somebody else I just said. I can't think of the other person I just said. But you can't. You can't keep consistently doing the stuff and then relying on the fact you said the pretty words. When are these actions going? No, the reason why reparations is so critical and so key to me is because it's tangible. I can hold it. I can do something with this. There's actual relief. Like, even if people go to church on Sunday, some people go to church on Sunday and they get spiritually filled and it gives them just enough to go out and fight the day again. They can go out into the world and fight it all over again because they did that. And I get that, right? I'm not a religious man, but I understand why it does that for some people. Those types of people. But they're getting spiritually fed, but I can't pay anything with that. I can't protect anybody with that. And see, mine is, and see, MJ, they don't want to pay reparations. And see, this is the difference. I think people think that like a person like me, I'm saying we need to ask for. No, I want black folks. If it's 50 million of them, if they tell the truth, I need for us to leverage it. We can leverage that. That's a lot of people. See, not only are black folks 50 million people, but we also are 50 million people who they eat off of. Your talents, your legs, your bodies, your voices, you know, your new genres of music, things you come up with all the day, they eat off of it. Without you, the world becomes bland. Colors are not as vibrant without black folks, especially not black America. So you have leverage. The difference is we won't use it. See, how many people have had listen to me talk about this whole voting one way blindly without any tangible? No, it's a very simple, clear-cut, obvious way to get a black man like me to get up to go vote on a Super Tuesday. And it's perfectly easy. It's this way. Tell me what the fuck you gonna do when I do it. And don't tell me it's fear or a crisis to get around. That is not going to work every year. That could be something every few years. But I should not be able to look back through my 20-some odd years of being able to vote and not see one tangible thing that black folks have ever gotten out of it to give us relief as a collective. I don't want to hear about the money that y'all donated to HBCUs. That is not the collective of black people. And again, I appreciate you, C-Dups. I wouldn't normally do this and I would just go back and forth with you, but I'm gonna block you. I don't have time for energy for people with negativity today. I just don't, not today. And I don't do that lightly. My thing is what's the point of going back and forth with people who basically gonna give you a problem for every solution without trying? You know what that's called? A detractor. You know what that's called? A person who is getting in the way. They don't want black people to get better. This is how I know they don't want black people to get better. You cannot tell them verbally every 2 to 4 years, we need you. You are the backbone, but I'm never going to tell you anything tangible, or I'm going to show you anything tangible. Like right now, anybody in here who's a Democrat who thinks that I'm wrong, if I was to ask you what tangible things did Black America get for themselves that was exclusive to them, because that is what you said we are. We are a group that is the backbone. You support your backbone. If you can show me what you have done, any of them, that is Clinton, that is Obama, that is Biden, that is any of them. If you can show me, and I don't want to hear about a program that's going to watch a select part of the group. No, nigga, if it's 50 million of us, if you can find us to this is what I want people to understand. Because they'll say this right too. They'll say this too. With reparation, how do you even know who you're going to pay? The same way they know how to keep 50 million people at the bottom. How do they figure that out? The same way you figure out how to do that, it's the same way you figure out who the fuck you owe to pay money to. So what I don't want people to keep saying is that you can't get nothing. I can't do. Yes, you can. You choose not to. I've watched you repair other people. Did I not see the quote? Did they give 90 billion to the little hat people every year? That means 90 billion could come to us. That's not even sufficient enough. But even at that, they're telling you we have money. We don't technically need to give them this money. They didn't earn anything to get it. I want you to do this. And I wish I could cuss really bad right now. I want to cuss so bad right now. I want to say this, but I will say it this way. I want you to say it this way. I want you to go out here today and I want you to act like a stuck-up chick. Let's use that word. Health insurance. So they gave black folks free health insurance. You're making my point. Too many Doberman crabs. Your mama told them. I know. Everything is the same thing. Everybody does whatever they told. We're like fucking walking zombies. I don't want to do any of that anymore. But I want you to get in front of your politician. I want you to. I don't even want you to get in front. I want you to say to yourself right now. How about this? Like, instead of listening to me, how about say, I'm not gonna vote unless I can do this. I'm gonna act like a stuck-up chick. Meaning, you gonna have to bow down to me to get me to do anything. I want you to be this woman. Matter of fact, do I got this woman in here? I saw that I had this video of this woman in here where she went out to eat with her girlfriend, called up this Negro. I know, right, MJ? That is crazy. Called this Negro up to come down here and hang out with her just so he would pay for everybody. He won't gonna pay for everybody. He's just gonna pay for him and her. And then they got mad at her. I need for you to act like one of them stuck-up chicks that's delusional, that's dumb, that don't understand how it go. You need to stand up there and says, why would I vote for anything else? What are you gonna do for me? You ever notice that at debates, you ever notice that when they have town hall meetings, Oprah puts on the show, anything that they do, I appreciate you for the follow too. I do appreciate that more than you know. Any of those people, I want you to ask them, I don't know why I ever ask them questions. They'll never ask them questions. You wanna know why? Look, right now, I wanna say this, let me calm down because I'm hyped up right now too. Let me say this. Even though I said no NAACP, no Black Caucus, no Barack, no Michelle, no Keisha Lance Bottom, I ain't looked her up. I looked all these people up. I'm trying to find people who are basically gonna speak up for Black folks right now because Black folks is hurting. See, I couldn't be not saying that I speak up for Black folks and not gonna come dress you and say, I know you hurting. I know he ain't your son, but I know you feel it. I know when you saw the 35 years, your eyes jumped up just like mine thinking, poor little boy. And then I got to hear Angela Wright tell me how they be mad because a girl got her braids cut or something on her thing. It'd be something simple like that. They want to jump out the fucking window. But with this one, all of a sudden, everybody quiet. You want to know why? Because they ain't going to keep getting paid if they talk. And when they do talk, they going to sugarcoat it. Oh, you know, I do understand, you know, but I'm trying to understand what it is. Or they'll do that. I'm speaking for you. Charlamagne go for this one. They'll do that. I'm speaking for you. I've spoke to a lot of Black people and they wanted to, they're feeling this way about how, you know, like they're not being represented, they're not being spoken up for. They're saying this all the time. And you think to yourself, I didn't say anything. Why don't you say, Charlamagne, that you said all that? I can't, because I can't keep getting paid if I continue to do that. They won't keep giving me money. See, I understand it. I understand that if you're going to get on mainstream TV, L. Scott, that's me. Appreciate you for being here. I appreciate all the follows today. I do. You're not going to see me on mainstream TV. They'll never put my face up there. As pretty as I am. I'm joking, but I just say this. As much as it is, they will never put me on a television screen. And I'm going to tell you why. It's going to be because they only want people that do bidding for them. So when you get up there, don't ask yourself this question no more. I wonder if any of them that looking out for you. No. None of them really looking out for you. And the ones that do look out for you, you know what they do? They do it to a point and then they have to stop. Like Drewski. Drewski caught hell from everybody. So why he shut down the little hat thing? Because they told him to. Oh, it's not good for your career. How did they get to do that? And they 8 of them here. Do y'all know? Let me tell y'all something. Well, let me leave it alone today. That's too volatile. I won't say that. I was gonna talk about them folks. I will just tell you this though. This should tell you something. They have more of them little hat people in our country than in Israel themselves. How do you have more of them here than there? You saw I always ask the clear people. Oh, we call clear people. We're gonna start using that clear people. Oh, if roles were reversed, then it's gonna be on a different side. I always look for all the people again who just got in here. I'm just gonna say it like I always say it too, because this is the guideline. It's true. Whoever the Black person is in the story, you're wrong. And I've even seen it when the Black person is not in the story, and we're still wrong. Classic example: when the lady that got unalived out in South Africa with the little white tea man, and they said she committed self-impugning of herself, which we all know is BS. Y'all know they instantly went on a campaign of Black men are not safe to be around. And these are situations like this. I saw it instantly. I was like, these articles drop, but we talk more about that in our culture. It's all through my timeline. Then we talking about this man. This man literally have done some things to her. You know it has happened. Look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all today. I feel weak as a Black man because I can't collectively put enough of us together to cause enough damage to the point to where people feel enough nerves not to do what they're doing to this young man. I feel weak. because I don't think we're supposed to be here. The problem is the collective mindset is like Dennis Sperling. No, I'm going to tell my son. I'll just play the beginning of part of it because I know I went too long. I was supposed to play it a long time ago. I'm just going to play the beginning part of what he said at the beginning.
Behind closed doors, Willie D, I'm going to say, you big dummy, why would you pull a knife out and stab somebody just because they pushed you?
See, just that right there alone. Just that alone. I would never say that about any of y'all children on this place. And I don't use that word kindly. I'm a masculine man. I don't use the word weak kindly. In my everyday thing. But what I'm going to tell you is, as I watched him, I'll tell you like this now. You know, one of the books that I have read multiple times, and I even listened to the audiobook over and over and over again. You know who it is? Assata Shakur. And it's solely because black folks said, no, nah, we're not doing it. Even at a disadvantage, we ain't doing it. And they got out. Another one, Robert F. Williams. If y'all don't know who he is, he's from my home state of North Carolina, Monroe, North Carolina. That's not where I'm from, that's where he's from. Robert F. Williams said, y'all keep fucking with us, come up in here, it's gonna be a problem. And he stood on his word. When I think of the Deacons for Defense, these are the reason why they hire these people. I don't want to hear no more about Selma. My people are not going to be judged about we're not going to act like getting your ass whooped anymore is a badge of honor. No. While everyone else can be warriors, we got to take an ass whooping as no. I rebuke that. Move on. No more of that. I am tired of feeling defenseless for my children because they keep making soft targets out of our children. I applaud the men. I applaud the men who protect the ladies when they see them in the street. I applaud the ladies who stand up for the brothers when she see them in the street. I saw this beautiful sister the other day. Brother, you could tell he was low, sitting on the park bench, won't say nothing. I saw it on the video. He wasn't saying anything, but you know that she obviously is in tune with black men. She just like Superwoman, flew out of nowhere. She came in and sat right beside him. This man broke down in a stranger's arms because she could see this man in pain. Do you know she probably saved his life? I need that energy for us again. Come on, man. We gotta get these people out of the mix. This whole individualism, this whole I'ma do for myself, I'ma ride with my sisters, I'ma ride with my homies. Fuck that. No. If you are moving wrong right now, figure out whatever way you need to figure out about how to get right at this point. Because right now we need everybody in on this thing. They are going to rev it up even more. I want people to understand this. I say this all the time. It is the fact that we are going through a black renaissance, and we are. Southern soul music. That is the only music right now that seems to be touching people, and it's only because they ain't corporatized yet. That's all us. You got people literally now loving on black folks to where they said as a collective, we ain't going to these Asian stores. We didn't even need to have anybody call for a boycott. We just didn't show up. That is a renaissance happening. But what people don't understand though, even though the renaissance is happening right now, even though it is collectively happening, you think these people gonna go away quietly? You think they're gonna let us remove them without pushback? You think they're not gonna rev it up? That's why it's so heavy right now. They know that we wanna be together right now. They know we wanna ride with each other right now. They know that their collective racial pride is starting to come back, and they said, we got the mongrel. That is why you inundated with a whole bunch of foreign black folks telling you wrong all the time, telling you cultureless, telling you your men ain't shit all the time. Most of the time when you look online, you see these bad comments about each other. It ain't coming from us. It's people who look like you. I'm so tired of elevating people to the top to talk bad about it just because they talk slick, because what it is a bunch of hurt people who feeds these people. When you have a man or a woman online denigrating the other side for no apparent reason, just out of the blue, that is a person who is talking from a place of pain. And all it is, the person who is going through a breakup at the moment are now feeling that pain, say, you goddamn right, all of them are messed up, and let's dump on them. And you see it. That's pain. I see the pain. I've been through my own stuff before. You go through your own life. Life kicks me in my face too every day. And you know what you have to do? I can't come on here and project my own personal life onto everybody else. MJ, you hit it on the head. Oh, the fear part. You know, see, people don't understand. Let me say that. I was going to say it a little while and I got sidetracked. I totally do agree with this. The reason why you can't win in the movie, like, even if you're the superstar, you notice they're going to figure out somehow, some way to not make it to where you just, very few times a black man is just dominating in the film and he wins. So the reason why they make you lose, it is because I need you to have that reference point at all times. I need for you to understand that in every film, you have to see me. See, people don't understand this. Look, these people are new booty. And when I'm talking about them, I'm talking white people. They all new booty. What these new booty did, they decided to come into this world, new booty and all, in the last few hundred years. And I say hundreds. I didn't say thousands. I didn't mix my word. We can come back and talk about it another day, but I don't believe these people have been here that long, and I don't think they're exactly what we are. You can call me crazy all you want to, but I'll tell you my reasoning. And once I say it, if you ain't questioned it before, you're damn sure questioning it after. I'm going to tell people this. This place, let me leave it alone, because if I go down that route, I'm going to be down here for another 3, 4, 5 hours. I can't go down that route. Can't go down that route. All I'm just going to say is this. I'm going to say this. Let me say it this way, because I wanted to point us to that. Look, I can't. Look, if I go there, look, how long we been on MJ? Look, how long we been on here? See, you already been an hour 50. You gonna maybe be up here forever for Trump. All I'm just saying is, look, you want to know why? I'll say this, MJ. I'll say this. You want to know why these people are willing, why they act this way? Because we're not the same species. I know we walk with 2 legs. They walk with 2 legs. They have the same things we have. We had the same things. And the only thing seems to be different is seems to be the phenotype. No. Mind is different. The genetics are different. You ever notice when they take the rats and things like this and they do genetic testing, why they take the white rat? Stop asking yourself the question. People don't understand. Yes. Look, forget even the fact that they have Neanderthal DNA, you don't have it. Forget even all that. Forget all of that. Let's not even go that route. That is the fact of taking information from them. I like to be the common sense person in the room. I just want that. You said different spirit. Kim, you said they have a different spirit. Let's question the spirit at all. Because what I tell people, I said this one time before, I say, because karma seems to punch black folks in their mouth. You do something real messed up, you're going to pay for it eventually, somehow, some way. But these people, they get to keep rolling on. I think you got to have something going on in here, spirit or something, to be able to catch karma if you can't. See, this is what I believe. If a zebra has 4 legs and run like a horse, but the zebra's different from the horse, then why we don't look at the zebra and the horse the same way? We don't. I'm just saying what it is that we're taking the fact of their information. This is what I believe to be so at this point until otherwise. And mine, this is what I tell you. My information only comes to me as it comes. I formulate my opinion, and it's always able to be moved once you give me new information. You don't you don't get to give me your opinion. You got to give me information. But the information I found is this. I can't determine if they came from some mountains. I can't. I can't determine whether they've been here 4,000, 6,000, 8,000, whatever years. I can't determine that. All that I know is that every time they pull up something out that goddamn ground, it is melanated. How is it that it's only melanated people that come out the ground? Sounds like the whole planet was melanated at some point. Every time you start diving into old European history, old American history, old Asian history, you start pulling back layers, and for somehow, some way, they will tend to get darker the further you go back. But somehow, some way, when we talking all this information, somehow, some way, the information don't always make sense when they involved. It's always a rumors, a whisper, something don't make sense, something's different, something's off, something's wrong. You want to know why? That's what people do when they write themselves in. Who would write themselves in? Something that ain't something foreign to him. I say this all the time. See, if you hear something over and over and over again without full context, you don't even think about the other part of the context. I'll give you an example. Let's look at the orphan trains. They said the orphan trains for about, I think they said from late 1880s until like the 1920s, they transported over 300,000 kids across the country, orphan kids. Now, you're thinking as billions of people in 300, let you take America. There's 350 million people in America now. The population in America ain't nowhere near this in 1880, 1890. It's nowhere near this. And then the kids that they got, ask yourself today, where do you get 300,000 orphans from? Where they deadbeat ass parents at? And they said a lot of times they were pulling them from overseas. Again, we just established Europe is a very tiny place. Where do you get 200, 300,000 kids from Europe, and Europe is not empty? And why Europe ain't got a story of a mass point of immigrant kids getting shipped out of there because they had no parents or very bad parents. And then who determined they were horrible parents? All of y'all was sleeping around animals and shit around this time. What are you talking about? How horrible was these people when they couldn't keep their kids if you sleeping around animals? Anyways, I digress with that. What I want people to say is this: let's use our common sense. Where the fuck did they come from? Then let's think about this. Everywhere in the world that they're not at, everything seems to still work fine. The grass still grows, the food still grows right, the meat still tastes the same, all this stuff. Everybody leaves those places, come here and say, nothing tastes here the same. You notice that everywhere that they go, there's something has to be toxic. Another thing I'll tell you that gives me a aha moment. When something's not real itself, it has camaraderie with other things that's not real. You ever notice they love GMOs? They love making stuff out of plastics. They like to make you want to be online, do virtual world versus the real world. They want you to travel in your brain versus the traveling first. Nothing that when they go to the environment, they want to build ecosystems for you to live in and spray over stuff on top of you versus letting the earth be whatever it's supposed to be. You can't tell me that the earth is this, and this, and we need to protect it and the water's going bad. At the same time, you telling me you sucking the water out of the ground with data centers and you dropping chemtrails on us over above our head. How do you get to do both at the same time? How do you get to poison us at the same time and tell us there's going to be a water crisis as you're making it a water crisis? You talk about them changing their physical appearance, MJ. Look at it like this. How about this? How about you go back and do this? How about they ain't got that many faces? How many they ain't got that many faces? Like, we pick it at Asians because they all look alike. It's just their eyes. But think about white people. Think about the class of them. How many times have you seen the little Sixth Sense boy in the Sixth Sense movie be 5? He's been 5, 8, 10 years old, and he's still making movies today. It's another kid, a different name, but got that same face. Tell me you ain't seen it. Why did the little Scarlett Johansson when she a little 8-year-old, 9-year-old little girl? It's the same little girl on movies today on a B-rated film I watch on Netflix. I said, wow, this girl's been like 12 forever. But no, that's not her. It's an old other girl. Why? Because they ain't got that many faces. I'm telling you people this. Melanated people were, let me paint the picture. I'm gonna go and paint it for my people. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, definitely hit the follow button. Hit that. Hit me on this one, because I'm gonna cook on this one. Let's cook. How about let's look at it this way. I believe, and we've talked about this, MJ, multiple times on here, through the architecture, through the infrastructure. Mind you, people, let me get you real quick. Let me take you down the 30-second road so I can lay a groundwork for this whole thing I'm ready to say. America, they're telling you in less than 200 years, built underground tunnels that went all under the ground that connects every major city. Boom, that's one. And inside of every major city in this country and even small towns, they have stone buildings made out of granite, stone, marble, everything else. And they have dozens and dozens and hundreds of them. And it used to be thousands, but they all burnt down. Remember, they had a burning city. Every city had a burning city. I mean, it had a burning story. It wasn't just Chicago. Chicago had one, Detroit had one, Atlanta had one, New York had one. Everybody has a burning story. So they had even more buildings. So you have complete infrastructure. The railroad tracks were here. All those cities had train tracks inside them all the time. All this stuff was here already. Now, I'm not lying. Look it up. This is not a game. This is not TPs in Buffalo running around where there's a wilderness. That's not what the fuck this was. That's what they sold us. So now that we know this to be true, well, we see this is right here. How does a bunch of people, when they get here, how do they be so amazing they did this in 200 years? So you're trying to tell me for all the recorded history, you said was a billions and billions and billions and billions of years, and we went there, we could barely make a wheel. We could barely make fire. Then we finally did it, and we were, remember, they still tell us all the way up until basically the 1800s, we still was sugar honey iced tea and outside. We had no running water, no nothing at all. Every so often you'll have the Greeks or the Romans did something amazing, but that was only short-lived. But outside of that, everything has been primitive. And then boom, 1800 hit. All these peasants came from Europe. Peasants, remember they dumped out their peasants and their prisons. These peasants and prisons got here to America, and all of a sudden they built so much ingenuity until this day. I just saw that now license plates are going to be 5G ready, already in there. They're going to be able to track your car through your license plate. They're putting trackers on a piece of plastic, metal, whatever it is your plate made out of. So you did this in 200 years, but the rest of recorded history, we couldn't build anything. Come on now, people. Come on now. You work with these people. Where's the ingenuity? Where's any of this? Even all of the 50,000 patents that we do actually have, ones they allowed us to have. Just imagine how many more we do have because of that. So remove all black ingenuity, they can't produce any of this. You're not on the internet without black people. You're not driving a car without black people. You're not doing it. By their story, you can't do anything, any of this with black people, but we're a primitive bunch of people that they saw as 3/5 of a man. So 3/5 of a human and a bunch of peasants made this whole ingenuity of the world that we see today. That doesn't make any sense. You've been sold a lie. That is complete story and fabrication. No, this is the reality of what it is. This entire planet was built and it was amazing. The reason why we build out of wood now is because they are primitive in their building abilities and their style. Now, they have mastered wood building. They don't know how to do stone building like that. That's why they don't produce it. You're not going to tell me in a day when America wastes money on everything, they still build houses out of wood. But in this time, in the 1800s, when there was only 8 people per city, that they were building stone castles with chisels and hammers by hand. And he was a peasant. And they did this and they had no money in America. No, America, this is what it is. I want people to get this right now. From China to Europe to the Americas and everything in between. Everything has been melanated. They were complete major cities. How many old buildings did they tell you that is in India that they built in 8 AD and they built the Taj Mahal with a chisel? Go to Hungary. I was showing people stuff in Budapest the other day. They telling stuff like this was built in the year 1200 with a chisel. That's built with a chisel? Come on now. So these people can produce it every blue moon. See, they have you under the impression, the people who don't go into history like I do, they have you under the impression it's like 2 or 3 of these amazing structures, but that's it. No, baby girl, young man, young sir, we have castles and stuff all over the world. They have star forts. I ain't even never gotten to the star forts with you guys. New York was goddamn, Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty is on a star fort. That is not something that white tea people built. That was already there. There's another star fort down there in the Keys in Florida. There's a star fort in DC. There's star forts all over the place, all over the world. If you don't know what a star fort is, they keep telling you now they're military fights. No, they're not. These were infrastructure of these cities. These cities, a lot of times, are walled cities. If you wasn't here before, I told you before, it was an episode I did once before, and I did this whole breakdown on how Mobile, Alabama had an 8-foot king that we've heard about named Tuscaloosa. 8-foot king in there, and they described the city. In the city, they said that they had over 80 buildings that could hold over 1,000 people. That's a city. That sounds like apartments. That sounds like buildings. That's structures. So when you see massive structures in the cities and things like this now, you're thinking that these people build it with infrastructure. How do you build a Taj Mahal type of Capitol building in Detroit? Tell me that you got all of the granite from Alabama. How did you transport there in 1830? Oh, horse and buggy, that's how we did it. So horses, you decided to build shacks everywhere in the country towns, but these buildings, you wanted to put them on horses. Do you know how much water a horse needs to consume, to pull? And then they do it in a year, 2 years, 3 years. This is impossible. Hell, the AI will even tell you that. I've put it in one time, like one of the buildings I was looking at, I think it was Grand Central Station or something. I think they was like, it had like 100 million pounds of granite or something in it. And I was like, on horse and buggy at this time era, this and third, how long would it take to build some type of structure? And they was like 700 years. They didn't say that, but it was a long time. It was generations with that technology. And then you'll look it up and then they'll say, oh, they started building in January 1877 and it was finished by January 1878. Like, what the fuck? With who? No, what it is, imagery is everything. What people don't know is the reason why you get so many old movies that talks about that era. Matter of fact, before I even go there, I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna fuck y'all up with this one. This one hit the like button for real if I fuck you with this one. This one's gonna mess you up. I love TikTok Shop. I do, I love it. I started doing this the other day. I used my common sense. I told you this is a common sense channel. Australians, y'all would agree, have still somewhat of their British accents because they said they dumped the prisons out in Britain, or in England, or in Europe and let them go to Australia. Y'all will agree, Australians, even though their accents are different, they're slightly, you can still hear their European undertones. So agree? I would think most people would agree with that. All right. When you go to South Africa, you will still hear the undertones. What do they call that? Afrikaners or whatever they call their white tea people. They still have an undertone of that British accent. Now, it's slightly different because they've been in these areas for a few decades, or at least since the 1800s. I know a lot of times, right? Y'all noticed that, right? And it's a heavy. You can definitely hear the European in it. Can I ask y'all a question? Why is it that white tea people ain't never had a European accent here in America? When majority, 80% of these people got here after 1890. 1890 to 1920, they said 80% of the Caucasian race got flooded came out of Europe, came here then. Why ain't nobody ever had no accent? Why you ain't watching a movie in the 1930s and nobody's got a British accent? Why you ain't never watched when they do period pieces, none of the British people that are getting here at that same time ever come in with a British accent? None of them ever have it. No European, they tell you they're from Ireland, they'll tell you they're from Germany, they'll tell you from the best you're gonna get an Irish undertone for people in Boston and places like that. But I want to know, where is that British accent of that person? Where is that person? Please, sir, relax some more. Where is that person? You said a story as was told by saying. It's to me, when I was sitting there, I was watching something. I was watching a dating show, and an Australian guy got with a British woman, and it just dawned on me. And I was like, no, Europeans, they came to America, they never had an accent. So again, I don't believe the story that these people came here, that something's different. And if they did come like this, what are they real? Are they clones? Are they NPC? Do they have inner monologues? I'm just saying, when I started thinking about that, something's not right here. Something don't make sense. They never make sense. And then two, I'm going to tell you, your mama told you, your daddy told you, somebody told you this. If everything in your life don't make sense, something wrong. Something is wrong in this situation. And they never want to talk about it. I always notice that nobody ever wants to talk about it, but something's always wrong. Everything we just talked about within a 15, 20 minute span, none of that stuff ever comes up in your textbook. I never knew any of this in school. How do you take such prevalent things that happen in this world and not put it into school? You said they purposely created a new accent called Transatlantic. And you know what's so funny? I love it when I hear that. You know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like a nice Google search. It sounds like when you Google what happened to their accents, Google says, shit, we got to figure out something. They don't figure out something new. Because that can sound nice for maybe one area, a certain area, but you cannot tell me that everybody and their mama and every other place that white tea people go, they kept their European tones, but they came here and got rid of them. Who made them lose it? Remember, the natives that you said read, they never learned Native American language. So if you're not integrating with the people that you're attacking, you said they never read natives running around there. They're red natives, and and that's all they're doing. Since they're doing all of that, where are you losing your, let me ask you, let's go deeper. Who did you lose your European tones to then? Since that was a new tone when they got here, who would you lose it to? You attacked the people you said were here. You wiped them out till they were under a smaller percentage. And you said the Negro, the African, you just broke him and made him speak what you were speaking. We would take your tone. You would not take one of ours. We were supposed to have an African tone. I know, MJ, they're not gonna let my page go nowhere. I told you, I don't deal. See, when you've heard white tea arguments that are disingenuous, and you get a lot of disingenuous when you've seen this a million times. We'll get on here and they argue from bad faith. One thing I'm gonna tell you from me, I don't need to have an argument. I'm not going to use your information. I'll give you an example. Let me tell you what I mean. I'll give you an example of what I mean. So I'm watching this video. I'm gonna play this for you guys because I'm gonna show you how don't ever take nothing these people say because they always in bad faith. Let me show y'all something real quick. So I saw this. Let me find this. Hold on. You gonna want to listen to this.
Police kill black. I was told that police kill black people indiscriminately more often than white people, period.
And that was a fact.
That was a fact. That was a hardcore fact. And then when I actually did research, and like the research is not that far, guys. It's really not. A guy is a black guy out of Harvard who's a Chicago Bulls
I've seen
fan.
that. Yeah.
He's done the study several times. Matter of fact, he's redid the study several times just so that he can, because he didn't believe it.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to play that for a reason. Now, this is a brother saying, damn. So now, in the comments section, all it is riddled with a bunch of white tea people. You people are all just playing victim. We told you that you did in the third, the whole nine. I don't take nothing. Ronald Fryer, that's the guy, Roland Fryer, I think his name was. Ronald Roland Fryer, 1 and 2 out of Harvard. So I'm gonna tell you why that's a problem. Go to Harvard in a second. But he did the study. You heard the young man. He did the study. He hired people. If you listen to Roland or Ronald Fryer, whatever his name is, he even tells you, I did the study with 8 different researchers. And when we came up with the outcome that basically there was no disparity between in race, we didn't find any. I fired them and hired 8 more and did it again and came up with the same thing. So I said, let me look it up. So I looked up his paper. I set up for last night for 4 hours reading this and going through this man's paper. And then it hit me exactly why he came up with those numbers. So now on the surface, they are saying this study out of Harvard says there is no there is no information that found that shows that black men are being racially profiled and impugned more than white tea men. Actually, more white tea men passed than them. And you know where they got their information from? Because this was the smoking gun. It is only getting the information from the police stations who have to report the people that they've impugned. I'm sorry. So you want me to believe a police force who just put Carmelo Anthony, a young man, in prison, that no one should ever took that case, for one. We've seen this over and over and over and over and over again. The black people are getting railroaded every fucking day by these same people. You're going to only do the study and get your information from them and then put it out to the world without context that you basically did the study multiple times and there was no way and there's nothing that showed any disparity when it came to this about black people. You lying piece of shit that you are. That narrative is wrong. You do not go to the enemy and ask him for his paperwork on what he did to you. They do not keep a proper file on all the black folks that they are doing business to. I promise you. That is a common sense thing that you and everyone else understands. He knows this. But since he's from Harvard and he's a Ronald professor from Harvard, we're supposed to just respect it because we don't fucking read. I'll sit there for hours listening to this bullshit. No, you're not going to sit here and denigrate my people with a lie and think I'm going to accept it. I'm so sick and tired of these people just saying things and we accept it. That is exactly what we did. We just accept it. So no. What I know is my common sense says this. And I'm gonna finish it out with this. I ain't gonna hold y'all no more. But my common sense tells me this. America, just like everywhere else in this world, was melanated. Somehow, some way, we lost control of our land, control of our soil, control of how everything we produce. You wanna know the reason why I know that this is what we do too? Multiple things y'all probably don't know. U.S. Constitution, the one thing they love to always talk about all day long. Oh, the Constitution said this. We wrote the Constitution. We wrote the greatest piece of legislation in the world history all the time. We did this. And then when you do your research, you just start digging in there, you find out it's basically a carbon copy of the Iroquois Confederacy. They had a constitution that basically black folks were already living under a democratic type environment, or I would say a republic type environment. We had an agreement amongst tribes or amongst groups or amongst nations or amongst whatever you want to call them, because they were all over this country in different places. Chicago was his own piece of place. Look up Shalaga. DC was called Norman Baker. This is an area. Go down to Mobile. This is one. These are places. These are cities. These are places you can go. Go to Tampa. Same thing. These are places you go. And they had a confederacy. It means that they had an agreement on how they were going to conduct themselves. That's a civilized bunch of people. Now, who acts savage every fucking day? Who wants to run your kid down and strap him to back of cars or hang up from trees? Who's savage? Who could write a constitution would be all men are created equal? That sounds like the black people who were here before they got here, not the ones who think they're gonna sit there and okie dokas now. Everything they say they don't produce. Everything they say they do not act like. I hear people all the time, we're the civilized group of people. You civilized, but you're poisoning people? What's civil about that? You're telling a whole group of people that you subjugated, we're not gonna do nothing for you. We gave you civil rights in the 60s. You mean 100 years after you let us off a plantation and you civil? No, you're going to find out the reason why the Dutch, the Portuguese, the British, the Spanish, and everybody and their mama alike, when the white people started coming here with the niggas, because they won't buy themselves, everybody came to this rock because it was amazing. I would not be surprised. Start looking up Lemuria. Start looking more into Atlantis. Because what I truly believe it is that Atlantis is the Americas. I've seen evidence of it, but I can't say it for sure. And if it's not, it's very close. So if Atlantis, and they always like to do that too, they mythicize the things that they can't make into Caucasian people. Queen Khalifa out of California, she's a black princess that the whole state to this day is named after. Oh, she's mythical. That's not real. Everything's mythical that they can't explain away. You want to know why? It's because this world was amazing and melanated, and it ain't no more. And that's why you are at the bottom. So I want to say globally to black people. I know y'all hate black Americans right now because you say we cocky and we xenophobic. Now I care less what you think. Don't really matter to me at this point at all, because there ain't no Pan-Africanness amongst none of us. So what I'm going to say to you is, though, you're going to have to get in your greasy head before we could even do anything. It's this. These people make sure that you are at the bottom globally, and that's why, because it was always yours. So those melanated Asians that you go into the backwoods of Asia and you still see that the late great Runoko Rashidi used to always show us, because Asia is melanated. The Asiatic black man is a real thing. Go up into there and you see all of those people. Those are melanated people. When you go into the backyards of Australia, these are melanated people. When you go into South America, you go into the backwoods of that, these are melanated people. Why is it always melanated people at the beginning? And why are the primitive people always melanated? Because all of us always were. People, we got inundated, something dropped on us. And I don't know if it was human. And I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds weird. I know that don't sound right. But what I'm saying to you is this. Why are they always attacking it? And then why is the world always attacking them? Remember, you, the sun absorbs you, your melanin, your vitamin D kicks in. It burns them. Sounds like a vampire to me. You got that going on. You got in your environment, as you're drinking food, as we do, as we need our seeded grapes, our seeded watermelon, our seeded everything. You know how we need all our seeded things to grow, because if we don't get them, we ain't get no nutrient. You notice they never talk about them though? That's us. Now, they like the way real food tastes better because they just violent, but especially meat. But what I'm saying is, y'all don't realize everything that you've been told, you've been dropped on. Let me stop. They gonna come. Look, I'm just trying to get people to understand. I'm sorry I went on this long tangent. I'm gonna get out of here in a minute. I just want people to understand that all that I'm trying to get us to get is this. Even if I'm dead wrong and I'm off basis, all that I know is this. The story we are fed every day and let me say it slowly so we don't think it's just this. Every story, let me look in the camera a second. Every story that you hear on every level, from education to medicine to your doctor, to you putting your shoes on, to how you build your houses, what is great, what is not great, what every facet of life, anything that has been told to you, this is normal and it has to be this way, 9 times out of 10, if you do any deep dive into it, the majority of it's wrong or improper. You want to know why black folks can't seem to succeed in this world? It's because they tell us one thing and then practice another. Remember, let's look at it this way. Even take our rich folks, our rich people, they love to give our money to the people who are not the most thorough thinking people. I'm not coming for people who are talented that they give money to. But you know why they like to prioritize the people who don't think to give them money? Because even them at the top, a majority of them are not gonna figure out that, hey, how does all the white team men get to keep theirs and they don't never pay no taxes? But for some reason we paying quadruple. Believe me, them NBA players, they paying some taxes. Oh, they paying some taxes. The NFL players, they paying some taxes. Oh, they paying all their taxes. They're not getting out by paying $8 like Trump and all them doing. Well, you don't want to know why? Because they don't realize they're supposed to take the time to learn, because they can't use the people that they're working around. Because remember, let me slow it down. Let me say this first, and I'll say the reason why they can't. they're not getting privy to the information on how to get this certain type of account to do this with their taxes, to do this. And you want to know how I know it? Because they always end up broke 5, 10 years after they retire. See, the reason why they go broke 5, 10 years after they retire is because they're used to a faucet pouring. Once that faucet stops, they don't know how to make money no more. They're back to being normal black men again. See, this is why I want people to understand. This is why I want you to know that your black man who struggles to make money, he is just as valuable as a Shaq or somebody. Because when Shaq or somebody loses their money and their celebrity, they don't know how to make money more. That's why the ones that never was able to make a living off their face or their likeness, they go back to the hood when they lose their money. A large portion of why? Because there's not a lot of places for black men to make money in this world. See, they monetize those guys, and then when they stop monetizing, they say, you can all do whatever you want. What I'm telling you is that we're gonna have to build our own economy. If you don't build it, you're not even gonna be able to keep it then. That's why they never keep it, because you know the white T guy never goes through that. I'll give you one even better for all my fellas that still in the room. Fellas, why is it that the white T player rarely ever has a contract problem? Why is it really not having, why is always the white T players always in training camp and he's not holding out? Is it that the white T guy just was willing to accept whatever he's given, or is he getting properly compensated right underneath your nose and you're not saying anything? See, I look at everything and I have to say none of it makes any sense, and I don't make no excuses for it. If you look at NBA, NFL players, white T men rarely have contract disputes. Why? There's no need to have them. They're getting paid properly. It's the black player that want to do it. And I'm going to tell you this something too. This is so messed up for them. You realize that your agent player, if any ball players, any people potentially gonna be ball players, just remember this about this if you're gonna go out. Remember L. Dot told you, your agent, your publicist, your banker, your CPA, all of them, even though none of them are a lot of times directly employed by the league that you're going into, you also have to understand, even though they're not directly, they're indirectly owned by the owners. Why? Agents know, bankers know, CPAs know, and all alike knows. They can blackball you out when no one can take you on as a client. So they will go to your client, go to your agent. They will go to people and make deals with your agents behind your back and tell them if you want to keep working, and this is the ones that may even like you. Yo, but if you don't do this and this is what's gonna happen. I know that's happening to those guys. You wanna know how I know it? Too many of them talks about how they losing money. People rob them. I'm telling you, the biggest mistake any of them make is allowing them people around you. Do what Lamar Jackson did. Lamar Jackson, they refused to pay him his proper pay, but it's only because he refuses to get on board with all them agents and stuff. Because you gotta remember this, people. I say this all the time about your taxes. Let's say this, I hate to do this again, but let's go through it really, really quick. Think about your taxes like this. Your ass, just your taxes, payroll, boom, you get it. They already taxed it before you get it. Bam, you've already been taxed 35, 37% out your tax. Boom, already, thank you. Give you your money. Now, before you even get home that day, if you gotta pick your kids up from daycare and all the other stuff, you go by the grocery store, tax. You gotta go pick up some shoes with Johnny, tax. You gotta get some gas, tax. You gotta go pay your car insurance, tax. You gotta go pay your phone bill, tax. You realize by the time you finish getting everything you need and when them tax, you may end up with like 10% of each one of your checks. And the tax that they got, even though there was in 18 different places that you went, all funnels to one fucking location. And you know what it is? 90 billion going to them little hat people, 100 billion going to Iran, and this money going over there. That's your money. And they telling you, you have to pay it. Otherwise, this place can't function. They're robbing you. They're robbing me. And told us we have to do it. No, they don't, man. It's so much. Again, I don't want to talk y'all guys to death. It's just so many different things I could cover when it comes to, let me see if there's anything else that I really wanted to say. And I appreciate you guys. But again, I wanted to come out here today and I wanted to come out and I wanted to make sure that if somebody wasn't okay and they needed somebody to talk to, please talk to me. Male, female, I don't care. I just want to make sure that you're not out here struggling. What do you say I am? Yes, we build the economy. We always build the economy. But let me say this before I get it. Let me slow it down because I'm gonna play a video for you guys today. For the people who don't know the platform, I have a complete platform on YouTube called 300 Radio. Go to 300 Radio and the #1 on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. We're gonna start loading up all of our music. We do music and everything too, but it's only to feed the narrative of the platform. The platform is about Black empowerment, Black love, Black everything else. I just want to pour into us. And so what I want to do at the end is I always play a video at the end of the thing. Today I think I got one that's just like perfect for the show that we're gonna have to play. Because it ties into, we just need to love on each other. And I wanted to come to a space, and I wanted to love on our own people, because you're not gonna get this conversation anywhere else. And I'm not saying just me, I'm talking about in this group. We have a grassroots, we have Black folks who actually do love you. I always talk negative about people, but I'll shout out to people I like. Black Alpha, Tariq Nasheed, Black Elite, Great Black Shark, Dwan B, these are people, Vicky Dilla, don't let me forget about the incomparable Vicky Dilla. These are people that, you don't always have to agree with everything they do, but I can definitively tell you when you can tell when someone truly loves the culture and when someone who is just feeding off the culture. See, people thinking that people who makes any money off the culture is a vulture. That's not true. Remember, who's gonna fund someone who's gonna speak up solely for you and not bend the knee? How is this person supposed to make a fucking living if we don't fund them? I don't get why people think that people can just make it happen out of no. We say, well, we got used to them. We've gotten used to them basically saying, hey, Tamika Mallory, she ain't gonna be down with the grassroots but she gets funded by Cadillac. Then that means she ain't talking about nothing. You can't work for the man and talk about the man. There's gonna be limitations. I'll give you another example. You want to know why and not to get sidetracked, because I'm going to close it out, but you know why they use HBCUs to always tell you that's where they get money to? Because they're using HBCUs to funnel, they fuck our kids' brains up at their schools. Remember the Koch brothers, if you ain't never heard them, look them up. The Koch brothers, some Republican donors. These dudes are vile. These dudes are nasty. These dudes have been denigrating Black culture forever. They're on the board of Howard University. They fund them. So do you really think that the people of these schools, and I've been on these college tours, they don't give you a curriculum that Black folks can really go out in the world and eat off of? If you really want an institution, now I will say this, Dr. Umar says it right. Again, I repeat, Dr. Umar says it right. You need a military science, you need a financial science, you need people to come in here who's going to build these young men into men that's going to stand for themselves. I'm talking about the Nation of Islam, but you can leave the Quran at home. You need that on steroids at this school. That's what you need. Talk to Greg Gaines. I don't think he's never going to produce it, but he can't. He's not the one that can produce that. But I'm saying that is what's needed. Not an institution, but when I get there and I ask you, since you tell us that Africans and us, we need to work together colloquially as a whole globally, then why none of these schools have Kiswahili or something? Because most people on the continent, a lot of them speak Swahili. So why not at least some African dialects in some of these institutions, since you want to keep making us African all the time? No, but they have Arab languages we have to learn. Spanish language we have to learn. You want to know why? Everything is never for you, but you keep getting people sitting in front of you telling you, hey brother, I love you. Go to Al Sharpton's page today. Al Sharpton ain't said a motherfucking word about none of this. Jamal Bryant, none. I ain't went to his page. I guarantee he ain't said none of this. Me, if I'm talking about Target today, I can talk about Carmelo at the same time. I can bring up we can talk about it all. Why do we stay away from specific subjects and specific people? I just told you all the people that I mess with their platforms, and there's many more. It's just these are the hand ones. Phil Scott pops out of my head too. Ant CEO. I got a couple other ones. Like I said, I got them. So it's people out there that I rock with. God, I was one guy's brother now, I'm trying to think of his name, but these people, if one of them I disagree with, then I'll say it with my motherfucking chest. They'll say it about me. That's how you know someone genuinely loves the culture. If someone comes against the culture, then they need to be removed. Like I was watching DL when he was talking about Kevin Hart's Rose, and he was talking about you could hear the tap dance, but in his defense, because you go with him. What do you say about Native Americans? Yeah, bro, Native Americans ran off that land, but bro. No, okay, what do you say? Jamal, he talks about it, and he says he will be addressed. Okay, all right, well, I hope so. Like I said, now, I hope he calls for a boycott again like he said last time. He got them sisters all on board for Target. Maybe he'll get some people to do now. But if he come in there, if he comes in there tiptoeing and acting like it ain't no thing, then we already know what the debate is in. I just, look, for me, I'm just gonna tell you like it is. You have, John Henry Clark said it best, you have no friends. Let me say it, I really do need to get out of here. Let me get out of here. You really do have no friends. There's nobody in this world that's going to protect black people, because what it is, everything that's not melanated isn't foreign to here. I mean, isn't from here, they're foreign to here. And they're all protecting they're standing over your space, making sure you can't never remove them. I said this before and I say it again. The reason why I know it is about the melanation of people and not an IQ, not this, that, and the third, because not every group is the same. A Chinese person will tell you a Japanese person is different from them, even though they have the same phenotype. But what I say to black folks, so Black Americans and this person, these people, we're different. But for some reason, they want to cloak us all together. You want to know why? It's because that's the easiest way to keep you all at the bottom. I need for Nigerians, Jamaicans, Black Americans, Haitians, we can't call Dominicans, they've already denounced their blackness. I'm not black or Dominican. So all these people, I'm telling you right now, the reason why you're at the bottom, even on your own soil, to these people, and it's not a coincidence. It isn't because you are the most docile, it is because you are the originators of all of it. This is your homes. These are your lands, these are your buildings, these are your structures, these are your roads, your families, your ancestors. They dug the trenches, they built. So again, for people to say that I'm xenophobic and I don't want to be black no more, and that's why I say that I know my ancestors are from the soil, no, because I'm going to pour into my ancestors right now. My ancestors built everything, just like you said they built on the plantation. What it was, that was the plantation lie. I'm not saying some people didn't be on plantation. I believe that happened. I do know that happened. What I'm saying is that that's a small chunk of what we built. We built it then under distress. We built a glory amazing without distress. We built all of it. You're gonna hear, so as you start diving into the information, you're gonna start hearing people start saying things like, yeah, that was a mythical story of some ancient white people that were giants that were in the Midwest. You're always gonna infuse this up, but there's never gonna be any evidence to back it up other than it's one person's writing. When I pull information, there's always multiple sources. You have to check, recheck, reference check, and check again before you say something you can take it on for me. I'm an informationalist. I am that guy. So when I look at this information, I just look at what they tell me, then I look at what the facts, and I use common sense. None of it makes sense. If I had time, I will come back on later today and we could dive deeper. I do the history part of the day, and I come back sometimes in the afternoon, we do history. We talk about some of the stuff to let you know why I know stuff isn't what they say it is versus what it is. So if you want to do that, definitely hit the follow button if you haven't hit it, get in there, because they're not going to show you my page again. One thing I'm going to tell you about a channel like mine is this. I could go hit my viral, to me would be 30,000 views on this video, and I could be talking about the greatness of black people. You could do the same type of conversation on another day, put it up, and they say 3 views. The algorithm, that's why I want to say that, and I'll close it out with this. The reason why I say if you want someone that's going to pour into you all the time, come here. I'm gonna hold you accountable when you be held accountable, because I hold myself accountable. It's time to be accountable. But I'm gonna tell you, majority of the stuff that we do isn't our own fault. We're the victims a lot of the time. You've been victimized, yes, but you're nobody's victim. Let me say that again. You're being victimized, yes, but you're nobody's victim. And you know how I know you're not nobody's victim? Because you've got $1.2 trillion in spending power. Victims lay down. We ain't victimized. I mean, we've been victimized, but we ain't victims. They did. The Haitians fought against all odds and won. Yeah. And I just say, so my whole thing is this. I know these algorithms are not gonna allow us to be together. When I put in certain titles, keywords, even probably my face, because I even say now 300 radio, I have to stop saying it so much, because 300 radio, when I say it, they block it. So I know that word 300 radio is in the algorithm as a negative, and they're just shutting it out. Scott Free Morning Show is right behind it. I can give you guys, I post stuff every day on here, but they have whittled me down to nothing. But they do that solely because I don't want voices that are going to speak positively of other black people. We do not want that. I like the detractors. I like the mushmouth ones that try to speak up, because then we can just pick on them. But it's hard to beat me in a conversation. I'm gonna tell you why. For one, I'm not gonna have a disingenuous conversation anyway. If you start trolling, I'm done. Secondly, you're gonna have to make it make common sense. You can't give me your book. I always tell people this. Religious people lose the argument a lot of times with people because of this. When you argue religion and your only reference points to make your point valid is in the book, you can't win. Because the person you're arguing with 9 times out of 10 are telling you, I am invalidating that book. You have to give me something outside of it. These people, just like the Harvard study tried to do, the Harvard study tried to use their messed up, janky paperwork and use that to us as a standard bearer of what we should take as what we are doing as a culture. I'm never going to do that from a bunch of liars. And I appreciate you, MJ. I do. I try to be really positive when it comes to the culture, because mine is just like this. I suffer everything that this young man goes through. I've probably been through, not to that level, but I've been through a lot. Let me say this to my sisters that's still here before we go, and I'm gonna leave it out on y'all. I promise I'm going after this one. I don't say this enough, but I need for y'all to understand. I said a little bit in this video. Ladies, men should not be getting together in small groups and talking about their feelings. That is what you are here for. I know that you hear the news. I know you see on TV. I know that they tell you he ain't worth a damn. You can't do that. I promise you. Every other group of people, all them white tea women, all them Asian women, all them Arab women, all them East Indian ladies, you notice all of them ladies are still with their men, but they're telling you, you right, girl. Why is it that they get, do you really think that have you seen the Goop Scoop East Indian dudes who eats Goop Scoops with flies and shit off the side of the road? They got ladies at home. I'm telling you, men, the black men that started, and I'm gonna say this wrong, the men that was online talking about they were going overseas to find women, I'm not in agreement with that. I feel like that's fleeing. I feel like, no, we need to sit y'all asses down and shake you or something to get you to understand that you're not going anywhere being diva girl by yourself. You're gonna end up alone. And right now, men cannot fight this battle without y'all. So what I'm going to tell you is that, ladies, if you're feeling Carmelo Anthony's pain today, if you wish that, and you saying you so hope you hugging on your son today, I promise you, without a man, it's going to continue to happen. Hopefully it ain't yours. But with men, if men and women can get back together, I promise you, in the 60s, even when it was worse, you notice they weren't doing it like this. They're doing it in our face. Back then, they didn't have the world watching. The whole country seen this boy get railroaded. Anyways, man, like I said, I always do this once a week. I mean, once a day, at least once a day. Most time around 12 or noonish. See you guys on the next one. I'm gonna play this song real quick for you guys. But again, hold yourself. If you need anything, definitely DM me. If you got any issues, anything you want to talk about too, definitely DM me. And I'll play this on my way out. This song right here is one of the original songs we put out here. We put a little graphic to it. But this one right here is basically just about the coach. I want you to hold your head, all right? I'll see you guys on the next one, all right? Peace.
I seen the same hard look in my mama's eyes. I seen the same